Election present for the ANC and a welcome relief from the fallout over the party's controversial election list. An old ally is firmly back in the fold. The South African Communist Party has thrown its weight behind the ANC. They've clearly put their fractured relations behind them. The SACP says their support is not a blank cheque. So how will they hold the ruling party accountable after elections, and what do they want out of it? Tonight, the SACP joins me to discuss this. Tell us more about the election campaign plans. Spokesperson Alex Mashilo is with me now. A very warm welcome, Mr. Mashilo.
Thank you very much.
So your relations with ANC, a lot warmer. What happened? Remind us how you got there.
Look, there are contradictions, and some of the contradictions are reconcilable. These contradictions are non-antagonistic, but there are contradictions that created problems, such as the one that led to corporate capture of our state and sections of the leadership and structures of the ANC, and drove alliance relation to the brink of collapse. During that moment, it was very difficult within the alliance. December 2016 marked a nodal point of change in terms of which things started improving. We have seen after the election of President Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of the ANC and the president of the Republic, a number of key campaigns that the SACP was driving becoming campaigns of the state. The first one was the implementation of the call first made by the SACP for the establishment of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into corporate state capture. President Cyril Ramaphosa took that further by establishing several commissions of inquiry: the Commission of Inquiry into Tax Administration by SARS, the Commission of Inquiry into the Public Investment Corporation, and the review of the State Security Agency.
Now, all of these commissions, I mean, they just show how riddled the ANC is with corruption. So where does your support come from? I hear what you're saying about Cyril Ramaphosa making the gestures to clean it up, but there's a big problem there still.
The struggle is not over. The program is not over. What has happened is just the beginning. We have got to stay the course until such time that we have uprooted all corrupt elements, not just in the ANC, not just in the state, because corporate state capture involved the private sector. There were elements from the private sector. There are, in fact, multinational corporations such as the KPMG, McKinsey & Company, Bain & Company, and so on that participated in capturing our state. So we have got to run a cleanup campaign, not just in the ANC, not just in the state, throughout our economy.
Cleanup campaign when you've got that controversial list that's making everyone feel rather queasy going into the elections.
Of course, we are governed by the rule of law in this country, and the IEC made its announcement in terms of the rule of law. When you call for the rule of law, you must respect it when it is seen to be happening. However, as the SACP, our standards are higher than those provided for in the rule of law. These are standards of our revolutionary moral high ground, which our liberation struggle developed during the course of our struggle against apartheid and colonial oppression.
Okay, so
the fact
what
that an individual
say about the lists then? I mean, if you've got that power, you've got that the voting clout, the numbers that you can get behind the ANC. What are you asking them to do?
Okay, the fact that an individual is eligible in terms of the minimum standards set in the rule of law does not settle the matter, which is why, as the SACP, we openly welcome the decision made by the ANC National Executive Committee. That decision is very important, to refer the entire list of the ANC to the Integrity Commission. We clearly support that. We are looking forward to the outcomes.
Shouldn't that be done now? I mean, the elections are just around the corner. Shouldn't that be done now?
Of course, the struggle is not fought in a vacuum. It is fought here on earth where there is resistance. But the fact that the NEC took the decision to refer the decision to the Integrity Commission shows that there is a movement in the right direction.
Or just another delay.
No. Ours is to press and support that movement, because our support for the ANC should not be mistaken as support for elements who broke our standards of revolutionary moral high ground.
Okay, so what is your election campaign then? I mean, what is your message? Is it one of support for Cyril Ramaphosa, despite what's happening in the party? Or is it
we are in alliance with African National Congress. Cyril Ramaphosa is an individual leader who functions within the framework of the collective leadership of the African National Congress. The changes that you have seen with him as the core in the leadership are the changes driven by the ANC, supported by the SACP, COSATU, SAMCO, and other formations of the mass democratic movement. Our vote for the ANC and our campaign for the ANC is not a campaign for the victory of the ANC as an organization. It is not a campaign for the victory of one political party over the others. It's a campaign for the victory of our people under the leadership of the African National Congress.
Okay, tell me what brought you back into the fold. I know you said that things were bad, particularly under 2016. You were left out of big decision-making processes, which you were party to before that. But what's on the table? What did the ANC guarantee you?
Of course, there were improvements. I have pointed out to principled and programmatic improvements to deal decisively with corruption. We are waiting for the reports from all these commissions. Already there has been a change. The President, in the State of the Nation address, announced the reconstitution of our state security system into two branches, which were into two branches which were dissolved when the State Security Agency was created and later abused in violation of the white paper that established the National Intelligence Organ. We are looking forward to that work driven to its logical conclusion to ensure that whoever was involved in the abuse of our state security system is held to account.
What happens if, so you put all your support behind the ANC, you firm there, committed, what happens if they don't renew themselves, if they don't clean up their image?
Remember
Where does
that
that leave you?
Yes, when we talk about the ANC, we are not talking about another organization. We are talking about our organization as well. The ANC belongs to communists in the same way as it belongs to non-communists.
Okay, so
we are active not just outside of the ANC.
What if it doesn't?
We are also active inside of the ANC. If it does not deliver on what we stand for, the struggle obviously continues. And victory is certain. There is no way that wrong will defeat right at the end of the day.
All right, well, very good talking to you, Alex Mashilo. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Coming up next, 90 pupils per classroom at Tlobolang Primary School, while their new school, which has already cost millions, stands empty and incomplete. Checkpoint tries to find out what went wrong and who should be held accountable. And I'll be back with more news at 9 o'clock. I'll see you then.